It's episode 3 of this wacky poker time session. Action Aaron getting a massage.
That's a first. Poker time first. First massage.
It's about time.
But the real thing to talk about here is Marty. Marty is the dynamic at the table. Everybody has to act in a way based on Marty.
No question.
Like, for example, if Marty went in for $2,000 right now, oh, he's not there. But if he did, Aaron would have to call with 2 tens.
Of course he would.
Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should watch the previous 2 episodes. They both heavily feature Marty because he plays every hand and he does not fold.
That is correct. Ed Miller likes to talk about how the ways people get rid of their hands. Marty gets rid of his hands by betting mostly, and a little bit by calling. And sometimes by raising, but never by folding.
So not actually getting rid of then.
Yeah. Well,
that's keeping.
No, but you get rid of your. I mean, okay, fine, but.
Meanwhile, nice hand for wheel. He's got 4,000 in front of him. That's a pretty nice stack.
Indeed,
he's been having a good session.
He looks very deliberate.
50 seems to be the open right now because that's what Aaron made it last time.
Yeah.
Ken calling with King 6 suited. I don't know about that.
And
Bill calling with 5s is fine.
Band teacher's gonna finish up here with 10-9 off, but it isn't the big blind. He's closing the action.
And look at his shirt. No gamble, no future. So
I mean, look at that hat.
Look at the
NGNF,
which does not stand for no gamble, no future.
Everyone knows that. Hey, that is an incredible flop for Bill.
A disaster for Ken.
So far, of course, Ken does have some equity here. No one else has any equity at all. That tells you the spot.
Ken just checks it after the pre-flop razor checks, which is interesting.
Bill only bets 30 into $205 with.
That's weird.
I guess he's trying to keep flushes alive and he's trying to keep other mid-pocket pairs alive.
Flush draws, I assume.
Yeah, of course, that's what I mean.
And flush draws would call for more.
Yes, I think 70 would have been fine and would have kept all those things in. As it stands, Ken, of course, never going to fold a hand this good.
I think
probably it's going to take one hell of a bad run out for Ken to fold.
Ken's a little unlucky that there's a flush draw out there because he can put Bill on a flush draw if he wants to. He is a terrible kicker. He shouldn't be able to beat too much of Bill's range if Bill triple barrels.
Well, Bill is continuing to bet small. Looks like 120 now into 265 with this monster. Still just really hoping Ken sticks around, and of course Ken will.
Ken's going to have a big decision on the river.
I assume Bill will size up the river, although he didn't size it up against Stewart when he had a set of kings.
Right.
So we'll see if he actually does.
Ace on the river usually doesn't change anything here.
You should really bet big here just in case Ken has something like the nut flush draw.
And did you see how quickly Bill bet? Do you think there's any sort of tell there? 150.
He goes super slow. Oh, Ken's going for. Oh, I thought Ken was going for.
He
Ken
is going
is
for
raising.
a raise. Why?
It's because Bill bets so small.
It doesn't matter.
Bill just calls. That's fair. And Bill ends up getting value anyway, sort of by accident.
I don't understand why Ken raised, honestly. I know it was a small bet, but what are you trying to get value from?
The nut flush draw.
Is Bill going to call with that?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm generally not. Are you?
No.
I think that was a misstep by Ken there on the river. He got a little bit blinded by the sizing and didn't really think about what hands could call him when he raised.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a kicker that played.
That is really problematic. But at least he had a very strong king. You could make a much more reasonable.
Yeah, if you had
much
king
more
queen,
reasonable.
if you had king queen, you could decide to raise. Although I still might not.
Even king jack, you could decide to raise. I think, but that's probably the end of the hands you decide to raise. If you're going to play it this way all the way to the river, and then he bets again when the ace comes.
Yep.
Mostly he's got missed clubs or he's got you chopped or beat, and he's never folding the chops or beats. So that's cool, by the way. Chops or beats.
Chops or beats. That's the name of our new place.
Album.
That you know, let me finish.
I did let you finish.
It's going to be both a butcher shop and a DJ
hip hop club.
DJ
Sorry,
studio.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. A DJ studio?
Yeah, where DJs
what are they doing?
They learn the ropes there.
That's called a studio now.
Well,
I guess like a
in my
like
DJ university,
a karate studio.
If you have a DJ university, you have to have a DJ studio,
What?
or else you're not going to be accredited. And you need accreditation to get the students at your DJ university.
What are some of your most famous alums, DJ alums from DJ university?
That would be. Let me think about this because it's been so many years of so many successful alums.
I understand. You got to comb through them all.
R. Kelly.
Is he a DJ?
Michael Jackson.
Those are not DJs. Anyone else?
Louis C.K. Hey, Joseph has a nut flush here.
Okay.
And top 2 for Bill. So we should pay attention to that.
Okay.
It's not a good board for top 2.
Bill does call. It's not crazy to call here. Although he has not called, actually. I'm sorry. I thought I misread the board. I thought he had already called. That's can't blame Shoshana this time because she's not here anymore.
She is not with us anymore. And Bill does not
misses.
improve.
Joseph is going to bet here,
well,
of course.
Yeah, he has to.
And he does not have to, actually.
He doesn't have to, but he would be very unwise not
It
to.
would be it's called You Hate Money.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to get a call, though.
It's asking a lot for Bill to call again.
He should size it up if he thinks Bill has the second nut flush some of the time, or at least a lot of the time. He should size it down if he thinks Bill's got a lot of this type of hand.
I mean, Bill's got a lot of just middling heart type hands here, right?
Yeah.
So
I
I like sizing it down here. I think.
Yeah, like 200,
at the same point,
225.
Yeah, 200 sounds fine. At the same point, having the nuts is pretty sweet, and you hate to lose value against the really big stuff. I don't think Bill's the type of guy who's going to hero very often. So I feel like I want to size it down. Like hero with, forget about the Queen of Hearts, but any of the other hands that he could have. What do you think?
I agree. Looks like he's sizing it up big time.
He's
what, over 1,000?
No.
Where's Marty?
That wasn't over 1,000.
Those were black chips.
Really?
I think so.
There you are.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, you were
1.2K.
right. That is too much. He might fold out the Queen of Hearts there.
Yeah, I think he's trying to confuse Bill into calling with the Queen of Hearts.
I admit, that might confuse me into calling with the Queen of Hearts sometimes against certain players.
Well, I guess it's possible it's a plus EV bet then, depending on how often you expect your opponent to have the Queen of Hearts, of course.
Yeah. I mean, the real question is,
Yeah,
I mean, you're
I
talking
drove
about a
through
plus
like
EV
4 or 5
bet. The
cars.
question is how often does he have a bluff there, right? I mean,
I was like, I'm out of here, man.
if he never has a bluff, then it's
Y'all have a good
plus
night.
EV bet or someone's going to
Drove
call some
through
of
it.
the time. But if he has bluffs too, then it's all about frequency.
I could argue that it's all about if it's a
I
plus EV
don't know.
bet
They weren't
in every situation, always.
1,000.
You don't think it matters about his frequency there?
Oh yeah, I had
I think
it.
that
had a
is
little
all
bit.
baked into whether or not it's plus EV.
Right. Well, I'm okay. Fine. I'm talking about the things that are baked into
Maybe I
it.
had two.
Yeah.
You talked about it as if it was a different thing, and that made me upset.
Well,
Steve Winwood, he graduated in 1958.
what is the name of your DJ university, by the way?
It's called DJ University.
Oh, I like that.
We got the patent on that name.
Is that why we've never heard of any other DJ universities?
That's correct. I sue. I am very litigious.
I don't know. Y'all just.
I'm like a
I'll need like 12
like a
from you and
website
12 from
domain
you, I'll be
troll.
happy.
You know,
Those do not exist.
what is it called?
Yeah, that's
Patent
me.
troll. I'm a patent troll.
There you go. Those exist. Hey, it's a set for Bill. And the gut shot for Wheel.
That's about it.
And a whole lot of nothing.
I thought I was
Bet
trapping him.
75.
He thought he was trapping me.
Fold.
Bill's going to bet his set.
Fold.
Whoop, whoop,
Fold.
whoop.
Fold.
I was
Just
so
Wheel and
excited
Marty
to
left.
fold. My bad.
Fold.
And that's gonna do it unless Marty
I meant to
does
cock it
something
and
Marty
just
like, but
be
no.
ripped. I don't know.
And I would argue there is such thing as a website domain troll. Maybe it's not called that, but the people who bought up all the website domains back in the early 2000s, that's
Yeah, it's
basically
apparently
the
it's
same thing as a
slick out
patent
there.
troll. Same concept.
Man, yeah, there's.
Nah.
Man.
How could you possibly disagree with that?
There was at least 4
think
cars.
you're
I
wrong.
drove through, 4 or 5 cars that had just.
Hasn't rained for a while. And
I was
all
like the next
grease
guy,
kind of
man.
percolated up.
Thought I didn't have no part of that.
It's really surprising.
All right, Marty's going to play the...
Oh, I meant to
I'm gonna
call.
guess bad hand. Yep,
At least it's suited.
it is suited.
That helps.
Fold.
Bill's going to call with the 5-3 off, plus
Or I
2.
hate to leave again, but I have
Yeah,
to
I
go.
don't know
Bill's-
what is happening.
Service.
Bill's questionable ranges have been
No, I'm
eclipsed
not
by
leaving
Marty
right
thus
Yeah.
far, so we haven't really been discussing them. But
Exactly.
Bill has been doing
Well,
some
after
wacky
this hand
stuff
as well.
as far as
Exactly.
ranges.
I'm
Like,
gonna
what the
stack
hell
these
is
chips.
going on here with 5-3 off?
With my straight.
Bill finds ways to make it work, though. I will
He
say.
does sometimes do that. And
Bill-
look at this flop for Stewart for a second.
Wow.
It's a combo
Monster.
draw. It's really nice. Marty's got just a gut shot.
Bill has a pair of 5s,
Yep.
and he is going to bet it. I would expect Stuart to start raising right away.
Especially because Bill bet 25 into 100. I would prefer a raise to a call if I were Stewart.
make
I mean,
my
that
back
said,
a
we've
little
seen Bill bet really small when he has monster hands.
It
We've
doesn't
already
matter.
seen that.
We have a hand that can withstand
Yes.
pressure.
Raise.
That is correct. And Stuart is going to raise, and I got to think that's going to do it.
I don't know. Bill gets sticky sometimes.
I'd be surprised. He looks like he's already folding. Look at his hands on those cards.
Get all the crap out.
He's like waiting for Marty to fold so he can throw it away. Let's see.
Marty, there's no need for this.
Marty knows the 6 will often win the hand, although only 25% of the end. Bill
And
clearly
that would
folded.
not win the hand. In fact,
Aw,
Stewart
that's
would
way ahead.
have the better hand if a 6 came.
I said often.
Yeah.
Show the king queen.
Also, a club would be bad for Marty.
And you were right, Bill did fold.
Yeah. He had the I'm folding thing going on. Action Aaron just chilling out over there. It's like he's in Jamaica while everyone else is in the tundra of Alaska.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah.
Getting a massage at the poker table is psychological warfare.
Yeah, you just look at your opponents and you're like, how's it feel to be you?
not
so
getting
good.
a massage.
It kind of feels
You're
terrible,
probably
right?
too poor to get a massage based on how you play.
You just look at him and you're like, maybe you should have worked harder.
Well, about throughout.
All right, Marty with the real hand. Makes it 55. Because
Bill
50's
with a-
not big enough.
Bill with a real hand as well.
Can't make fun of their ranges now. Yes, we can.
We can, but not these hands.
We can make fun of their ranges, though.
And Bill's gonna 3-bet to
Why?
just twice Marty's bet.
Why is this happening?
And
Action Aaron,
Stewart's
who...
got 2 sevens. or
No,
not-
we're on Action Aaron, who's
Aaron
got
has
2
two
7s.
sevens.
Stewart's got the 10, 9 of hearts. I think Stewart should call here on the button with these players.
I don't think so because Marty is a guy who is gonna shove a
Oh,
lot.
that's a
in
really
this
good
spot.
point.
We've seen Marty shove his stack in before.
That's the only reason not to call you. But you're on the button.
Cocktails.
I think Marty might do it with this hand, by the way.
I think he really might. I agree with
right
you.
there.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. He's done some crazy things. We've seen him do crazy things. Let's see if he does it. Yep.
There go the chips, and that is why you fold if you're Stewart.
And now Bill is wondering why he 3-bet this hand.
And what a spot for Aaron if Aaron finds a call.
Oh, yeah. And Aaron's really supposed to call, I think. But Aaron hasn't been at the table for nearly as long as everybody else, right?
And he's busy relaxing.
Yeah.
It's about $40.
But I think Aaron is supposed to call, even though this huge raise. It's Marty. Marty's got everything.
Marty has all the pairs.
I don't know if Marty even has the really big pairs here. Is he really shoving aces like this? I don't know that he,
He
is.
might be.
He might be, but he might not be.
Yeah,
but
that's
we know
true.
he's shoving all the worst hands, right? I mean, he can have 2 10s and do this, of course.
If you want to get a read on me,
It's just number of hands one.
just gonna take a little quick.
Bill is thinking about it, but I can't believe he's really going to find
Same
a call
hand.
with king high.
With Aaron
Am I the big
behind,
blind?
it makes
What
it a
the
little
hell's
tougher,
going on
too.
here?
I'm not too worried about Aaron calling, though,
What's
if you
this
call,
here
right?
flop, boys?
Aaron usually doesn't have a big enough hand to continue.
I guess it
What do you
depends
got?
on how
I'll
much
show you what
attention
you
Aaron
do.
has been paying. If he's been paying a lot of attention to Marty, maybe you want to
deuce.
flat with all of your
He's in
monsters
it?
in this
Okay,
exact
I'm
spot
sorry.
because Marty's going to shove a lot.
Yep. Bill lets it go. There it is. And now Aaron is thinking about it.
The last time I did this with you,
Homie
I ran
can't
into
call.
pocket kings.
No, I don't have kings.
Looks like it's going to be successful, and Marty dodges a bullet there with Aaron folding.
If Marty shows, Aaron's going to be a little upset.
Flush.
I'll call.
That's flush.
I imagine he did show because
He always does.
said I call afterwards.
The min raises fucks me up. Okay, I'm not down.
And Marty's VPIP is only 44% because during the times that he's had to leave the table
That's
to
right.
reload, he's taken a little bit of time. Otherwise, it would definitely be surpassing Bill's.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Joseph's is the bottom of the barrel, 17%, which is quite low, but I guess he's just trying to pick his spots against Marty and Bill on his left, on his right, excuse me.
I'm going to start calling him Careful Joseph from here on out. Wary Joseph.
Okay.
Deliberate Joseph.
You got to pick one.
I think I'm going to go with all 3. I'm picking all 3.
So you have to say all 3 every time.
It's okay. Maybe I will.
Sheriff.
I hope you do.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it.
care.
It made me do it.
You care.
Ken here is this.
Marty flops a 3.
And he's going to bet pot because Marty likes to bet.
Band teacher lets it go. We move on to the next hand. Band teacher could have called there. He's like, got 2 back doors, but Marty's usually just going to keep firing,
Yeah, I
guess.
think it's probably not a good time to do that. It is
Yeah.
a pot size bet as
I don't
well.
know if y'all played this
And,
game,
of course, he doesn't even have an overcard to the board. With the king out there. But you know what they say? No gamble, no future.
I would like to see if Marty continues to accumulate
that's
chips
what I
here.
was thinking.
If he ever
That's what I
does
was
decide
thinking the whole
to
time.
chop his stacks down, or if he just keeps going up and up and up until they just
Y'all got
topple
me on
over.
kill.
Elevator to the moon.
That is
I like
a
this
good
hand, though.
concept. You gotta
Yeah,
buy one of those. And
yeah.
Stewart has jacks, and he's really hoping Marty plays the hand.
Of course, Marty will play the
And he's
hand.
going to raise. It's a beautiful thing for Stewart.
I read
think
that book.
Stewart can go either way here.
think
Marty,
it's-
Marty might lose his mind and go all in with a lot of things if Stewart re-raises. But if Stewart just calls, Marty's definitely putting some bets in, and
shit, I'm
Stewart
in the
cannot
blind,
fold
huh?
on any flop, including ace, king, queen.
I think Stewart may have to call all the way down either way.
It looks like it.
I kind of like just putting in a small
wanna show
re-raise
this
right here
so
and letting
bad.
Marty go crazy.
Yeah, that's not a crazy idea
Like,
at
let's make it
all.
160. We've already seen Marty lose his mind when that happens.
You're gonna hate it later.
And it looks like he is going for a raise, and it looks like he's going a little
A little
bit bigger.
bigger. This might just get rid of Marty.
call.
No, of course it won't.
Wow, Marty
I
just
have a
calls
call
the
in hand,
4-bet.
Insta calls.
And this is the Marty dynamic I was referring to at the beginning of the
I love my
episode.
hand.
This
This
guy
could-
does not
You got a
fold.
big
This could
hand.
mess up Stuart, though.
Hope you
Marty
got a
called so
big
quickly. It
hand,
feels like
homie.
Marty actually has something
I
this
fucking
time.
sure hope so.
Marty's
Well,
going to think he has
to the bet.
something.
And Stuart is not going to love the ace.
I love
And I
this
don't know what Marty's
Wow, that's so weird.
doing.
Stuart's checking
Mic
him
one,
out and
check,
trying
1,
to
2.
Stuart wisely checks it back because he's oh my
Marty
god.
gets there. That is so gross.
And he
Fire
bets
that
$1
shit.
million
Flop, I'm
instantly.
taking it down right now.
450
I'm
into
gonna show you. I'm gonna
490, and this is.
You're gonna
I
be
mean, we
mad.
were saying we think Stuart's supposed to call in these spots. I know it's a third club. I know there's an ace out there. I know he's losing, but
I think he probably is
You're
supposed
too
to
good,
call.
homie.
I think he
I want
is.
you to fold. Fuck out of my pot.
my guess is Stuart's not going to call.
I don't know what you have though.
But I think he's supposed to.
I have like, I can't even count those out.
10
I
seconds.
cannot even count them. Like 4. Or no, 13 or I don't even know.
Well, Stuart got away from it, and that's good for him this time.
It worked out unbelievably well.
Show us the 10.
Well, that wasn't good.
Get the fuck out of my pot.
8.
Yeah, baby. Just in case you know.
Man's game.
Good lay down,
not a
homie.
kiddie
Good lay down, baby.
Just in case you
Good
know.
lay
He
down.
says, what is that? Just in case what?
He was just, he said
it
just in case, and then he just decided he needed more
You know,
words.
yeah.
He needed more words in the sentence, so he added you and no.
I can't show you guys no more. I'm not
Joseph,
fucking
you're the
doing
big
it.
one.
Was there
I'm
any
not
more?
doing any more free shows.
Oh, there wasn't.
I'm pretty sure Marty will do more free
You have to
shows,
pay to
even though he
see
just
this.
said he will not.
Yeah, I think he
I would like to bet on Marty will show his hand again when he is not required to.
I don't
before the
think,
session
I don't
ends.
think Marty's an accurate reporter of his own intent, even if he believes it at the time.
Mm.
Fold, fold, fold. Fold.
This is a call, obviously.
I don't know what
I mean, it's
have.
9 and 8.
On
He
the
might
be a
line?
3-bet.
He called a 4-bet with 10-8 off. He's definitely not folding
Priced
9-8
in.
on the button.
Oh yeah.
Now,
To a
with
single
players
bet.
like Marty, we've seen things
don't
like that
know.
happen, though, where there's just kind of,
Must've not looked at that.
they like open 8-4 off one hand and then
probably
fold
should've
a
raised.
better hand the next hand.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm on the button I didn't raise. Ah. Cocktails.
3 players.
Marty needs some cocktails.
Mm,
Nothing
gut shot for Bill.
nobody. Yeah, I guess Bill is a gut shot. That's fine. It's fine and good.
I don't know if Band Teacher can bet this with Marty in the pot. I don't think he can, yeah.
I think with Marty, you just want to make a hand and let him put money in the pot.
Yep.
And there
Hey.
it is for Bill. What a wonderful feeling.
Bill does make a hand. He checks again. He's putting the twigs and the sticks and the berries and the leaves over the big pit in the middle of the park. Hope
Yep.
something. Hope
That
the
was a-
sucker falls in.
That was like a really weird cover of a song, basically, the way you
Yeah.
did that.
I can't
Thanks.
fold.
Band Teacher bets 100. Marty does not fold, weirdly enough, and Bill
That was like
will min raise it.
That was like Slipknot covering Lionel Richie or something.
Thanks.
Didn't seem right.
Yeah, I do not like that. That's fucked up.
Marty's in a tough spot here with 9 high.
Oh,
9 high, no draw.
my God.
Look at him, he's tortured. What can you do? You got 2 overs. Oh, you gotta let it go.
Marty just
Gotta respect,
contributes
I'm gonna lay it down.
an extra $100 to Bill for no obvious reason.
Well, I get why he bet, but
He didn't bet. He called.
Well,
Band teacher
Oh,
bet.
you're
min
right.
raised again, I know.
I forgot that was possible.
Yeah.
Got me.
Here's our pre-flop raise percentage.
Once again, Marty's would be much higher if he had been at the table. The stats have been taking into account all of the hands where he
That's
was
true. 'Cause
absent.
He was dealt in according to the software. Even so,
Yeah,
he's leading
yeah,
the
I
league.
just- well, yeah, I could hit bottom pair all day.
Relaxing Aaron. No
Re-
gamble, no future.
relaxation, Aaron. How about that?
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
10 and a deuce.
Well, he only limps.
Stretch
That's
right there,
probably
boys.
good.
No, that's worse.
I don't know. With Marty, I don't know if it's worse.
Yeah, because he's.
I think I want to keep the pot small if I'm Marty.
Band teacher knows the ranges of Marty, and he's gonna open it up. He doesn't know that Joseph has 2 7s.
Wary Joseph.
Although Joseph probably just gonna call, and Band
Oh,
teacher's
yeah.
in fine shape against that hand.
I think that's right. Band Teacher, a pretty big favorite actually to win the pot. Like,
Yeah.
In position with the initiative, assuming Joseph does just call here.
He does. Lots of flops that Band teacher can win on for sure. That's probably not one of them.
No, I don't think he's going to win on the flop. It's going to take 2 barrels. I would expect him to bet this board, though. Doesn't connect too much with Joseph's range.
Nice dry board that he can rep pairs on that Joseph doesn't have as many typically.
Can't imagine Joseph folding for 75.
No, that would be strange.
Joseph, not interested in going anywhere. Wary Joseph. That is a good card.
That's a way to win the hand. Just get there. That works even better. I don't know if Joseph will be calling on this card though. If Band Teacher bets again,
I don't know if Band Teacher's going to bet or not.
What would you do if you were Band Teacher?
I think I would probably bet because Band Teacher would probably bet this card if he didn't have it.
Right. This is a card you're supposed to bet. It's more in your range than your opponent's. But I think it depends on the opponent. Joseph is an astute opponent. I think you do have to bet against Joseph because you're betting this card typically. Right. I think against a player like Marty or somebody who's typically quite bluffy, you might want to just check it back and see if they fire a shot on the river.
Agreed.
Joseph does make the call, by the way.
Yeah. Another sort of not great card for Joseph, but not terrible. But in Band Teacher can't get any more value.
Good pair. The top one.
Top one on the turn. Yeah.
Well, I flopped it.
Yeah.
On the turn.
Nice.
Flopped it on the turn instead of flopping.
I will say, I think actually betting the turn has less value if you're going to check back the river right away when an 8 comes.
Yeah, it was the 8 of hearts, but that doesn't usually matter.
Yeah, I mean, part of the value of betting the turn is giving you the opportunity to bet the river sometimes on safer rivers. That was a relatively safe river.
It was, but I mean, Joseph's just gonna have to hero with a 10 mostly to get value.
Yeah,
I suppose.
that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's kind of a marginal spot. I don't think Band Teacher should have checked back that quickly. At least he should have thought about it.
Yeah,
maybe concluded that a check was necessary, but still give yourself a chance to think about it.
I mean, maybe he did think about it. He just maybe just thinks quicker than you do. Maybe you're slow thinking compared to that guy.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I'll give him a chance.
Anyway, I don't think he was getting called if he bet again.
I don't think so.
It probably
either.
doesn't matter.
Joseph did block hearts. That shouldn't have mattered that much in that hand.
Open ender for Joseph. Wary Joseph.
Action Aaron with a bunch of nothing.
Relaxation Aaron against calm Joseph. Careful Joseph. Aaron is just more chill than normal.
Well, it helps when you're getting a massage.
You think that's what it is?
You think it's you think he's doing some sort of CBD oil thing?
Hey, I don't want to speculate, but yes.
You know that's not like an intoxicant, right?
What do you mean?
You're talking like it's like super.
I don't want to say anything that's
like
going to get anybody in trouble.
Not really illicit in any way.
You're the expert.
I wouldn't want to be the guy who gets Aaron, in jail.
They sell it at the grocery store.
What grocery store?
Like all of them in Oregon, at least where we are.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess I never use the time card. That probably means I'm not thinking deeply enough.
Oregon doesn't really have a great reputation throughout the rest of the United States. You know that, right?
Yeah.
What's the bad part?
Everyone thinks it's like a hillbilly state.
Much faster than 30 seconds.
Is that true? I don't think that's true.
Everyone's like, it's all farmers and hillbillies, right? I'm saying that's what the rest of the country thinks.
What's wrong with farmers?
I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I'm saying people say it derisively.
They don't.
I live here.
You're just making that up.
Band Teacher with top 2.
You're a weird guy. You just make up weird stuff all the time.
Obviously, there's nothing wrong with farmers. We need farmers.
I would imagine the reputation of Oregon is surrounding Portlandia at this point.
No, that's just Portland. People don't think of Portland as being in Oregon for the most part. They
what are
think
you
of them
talking about?
As separate entities. Portland is like its own panacea within this very other
panacea?
state. Yeah. Do you not know what panacea is?
Isn't that something that is a cure-all? Doesn't it cure everything?
Sure, but it's basically like a utopia. Which it clearly is. As someone who's lived in Portland for many years, it is a utopia. It's wonderful.
Anyway.
Right.
I don't know what's going on here.
Your hands are easy.
King Jack won top 2. good hand.
Yeah, nothing happened. It was King Jack bet. Yeah. The hand was over. Yeah. Aaron continues to feel relaxed. And I'm not exactly sure why.
Are you sure about that panacea usage? Is this like the magnum opus situation?
I don't remember the magnum opus situation anymore. But
Band Teacher was involved.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now. I am pretty sure about the panacea. I think a panacea is being like the land of perfection and stuff.
I think of it as being a cure-all medicine, like snake oil.
Snake oil?
Yes.
Wow.
Snake oil salesman.
Oh, no, that's definitely wrong.
Are you sure about that?
100%
wow,
you're wrong.
You're going to get killed again.
No one has anything.
Oh, you poor guy.
We're going to look it up at some point.
Next time.
Well, get ready to issue your apology.
When you're wrong, what's gonna happen? That's what
I will
wanna
issue
know.
my apology.
That's it. That's boring. How about you stab yourself in the arm?
Okay, fine. I'll stab myself in the arm. Bill wins with 6 high. Bill's a real panacea of a guy. You just use it for anything these days.
Well, I guess you're more right than I am, as I'm being given the
And you
the
mean
solution.
you mean I'm 100% right?
Well, you said it like snake oil, and it's not snake oil though. It actually is. It's a real. It's not real, but it's like it actually is works as advertised.
right. Okay,
Panacea.
I get that. What I was saying is that's what snake oil salesmen were trying to advertise, basically.
Oh well, you weren't clear about that, were you?
I was trying to help you because you seem to not be able to understand by
You were
approaching
honestly,
it.
you were
from a-
honestly not, I thought you meant it like it was something that was like a fake.
No, I didn't.
That's why I was telling you were so wrong.
No, it's not. You're trying to backtrack.
No. That is. That's why I was sure you were wrong instead
No,
of
the,
like just pretty
the original
sure.
argument was I was saying it was a cure-all. You were saying it was a utopia.
Well, it definitely is a cure-all.
Is
I'm
it a
told.
utopia? Let's find that
It is
definition.
not a utopia. Wait, let's look a little deeper. No. But that snake oil thing, really, I don't know, man. It's like the opposite of a cure-all.
I think
So
you're really.
when I said if you go back and listen, I only said you were
Alright,
definitely
okay. I
wrong
mean,
after
you're-
you said snake oil.
I feel like you're focusing on the wrong part. Anyway, band teacher has an open ender. Nobody else has anything.
I always thought Panacea was a place.
Bet 100.
That's obvious.
I'm gonna take a poke at it.
Call.
Good dog.
Fold.
Good dog.
Heads up.
there.
Maybe you need to go to DJ Academy.
It's not called DJ Academy. It's called DJ University.
No. I have a DJ Academy in Orlando next to Disney World.
Oh, what is that for?
It's
What do you learn there?
It's like Disney World and Disneyland, kind of. You know, it's the same shit.
I see. So band teacher had the open ender. Doesn't take the shot on the river. Might have worked against Marty. Probably would have worked.
I understand why you wouldn't take a shot against
Yep.
Marty specifically.
Me too. Just wait for value. Marty might have check raised all in. We just don't know what he's going to do at any moment.
Band teacher very sad. He's had a tough session. He has not been getting the good end of stuff. He had one flip that he won against Marty.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was good. Other than that, he hasn't had anything good happen.
He lost a big pot with aces against Marty, but then he won the big flip. He looks unhappy and tense. You know what he could use?
a massage.
Yeah.
Maybe a panacea.
You could go to Panacea. And I hear they have good massages there.
Yeah.
Somebody said there were some good players here.
Fold, fold.
Wonder who they are.
Well, now that you got back,
Wonder
Wheel
who
with
they
a
are.
pretty big hand here.
I don't see 'em.
Meanwhile, Joseph 3-betting the king 10 suited +1. He's really picked his spot against Bill. Maybe noticed Bill's ranges are kind of out there.
Yeah.
You're the half.
Bill has
You're
been
the
playing a
half. Get
huge
him.
amount of hands.
Unfortunately,
Will's going to flat the button.
Unfortunately for Joseph, his 10 is blocked by Bill. Hurts him a little bit. Ken's going to call with the 2 5s as well. And Bill, I guess, kind of has to call
Yeah,
at that
I
point.
guess. And somehow, some way, no one improves.
2 5s is feeling relatively comfortable here.
I mean, not really.
compared to a lot of boards.
Okay. But as soon as Joseph bets significantly, if he were to, which it looks like he's going to, 2 5s are not going to feel so good.
Yeah,
right?
5s might just fold.
I would expect them to,
because
mostly.
It's mostly a set mining situation for Ken, but we've seen
Yeah.
Ken get sticky before.
I mean,
240
having a good time,
into
but
410.
When you're winning.
We have seen Ken get
Saying,
sticky,
I'm
that's
not
true, but he also
into
will
that.
have Bill behind him.
poker.
Although that has not always stopped him. Wheel's thinking about it. Wheel's instincts are correct. He is beating Joseph right now. And were he to call, I think that would fold out the rest of the world. But very hard to
That's what I'm
call on
trying
this
to buy
board
tonight if
Yeah,
y'all
I
give
agree.
me
with this
some
many
money.
1
players.
second.
Is it instincts or is it entitlement tilt?
Well,
Well, like
you
your
know,
stack, homie.
some from column A, some from column B.
Not a 5 spot.
Trying to do it in one place.
Mike, check 1, 2.
Ken lets go of the 5s instantly, and that is going to do it. Joseph does a great job. He wins with the third best hand and wins an inflated pot.
It's a nice board to be able to continue on against multiple players. Although
I mean,
you
no,
do
it
expect
isn't.
that. I mean, you expect that sometimes people will have pairs that they can call with, but I think it's a pretty good board.
I mean, most pocket pairs are going to call. I mean, I know one didn't there, but a lot of times pocket pairs are going to call, and
I mean,
it's not a great
I don't
board.
think your opponents have pocket pairs that often. They have it a decent amount, but
I mean, there were 2 guys behind you who flatted your 3-bet. You don't think they have pocket pairs that often? I think they do.
well, we saw the wheel at ace queen and Ken folded 5s.
So Ken had a pocket pair.
Yeah, and he folded.
And usually Wheel has a pocket pair there,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like
not
when guys
allowed,
flat
sir.
a 3-bet
English
cold,
only.
they often have middling pocket
Yeah,
pairs.
they could have ace queen, ace king a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
they
king
can.
queen suited.
Okay, but they also have, 8s, 9s, 10s,
Well, it's
jacks,
sexy
right?
hand announced.
Sometimes
Above the
queens.
stand.
Sometimes.
No limping.
Maybe they all had.
Anyway,
No limping.
let's fight. I'm ready to fight
You're
you.
just mad about the
50.
panacea.
I am.
that?
I'm mad about the DJ Academy thing.
Because you didn't get in.
Yeah.
I waited all
We're very
night.
selective. We're very
I
selective.
really feel like
Could've
my
made it
application
35.
was. I mean, whatever.
went
But
so big.
did you? Who's involved
have a
in this
quarterback,
selection
I was
process?
I am definitely involved.
Yeah, that's what it felt
But
like.
it's a blind selection process. I don't know who
Oh.
the applicant is.
Really?
I just
Yeah.
want one caller.
But can you tell by like my writing style and stuff? I did say I'm a poker guy. I'm one of the poker guys in my application.
I thought that was just a
I-
rap
I
that you
just
were
want
writing.
one
That had
sheriff.
nothing to do
But you
with.
thought it was me. That's my point. You still thought it was me.
I mean, I had an inkling.
I am rapping a lot these days, so I
think
think
I would-
I'd be
I
really
don't
good
wanna
for
talk
DJ
anymore,
Academy.
that's
I'll
all.
say that.
You could reapply in fall 2024.
Can I-
That's when applications reopen.
Can I?
That hand.
Okay,
Will-
what's
Will's
happening?
gonna-
Marty just raised 8-6 off, and
Yeah,
we're
of
acting
course.
like it's completely normal and not even talking.
I mean, because
about
it's Marty and it is completely
I wouldn't
normal.
even raise it.
and the whole world's calling against him.
And that's a great flop for the ace four of
Yeah.
10.
Not even
No one else has anything though.
Wheels got a gut shot.
Even
but
Marty's
yeah.
not going to take a shot at this one.
Check.
Ken really should bet.
kicker.
Yeah, there's plenty to protect against, plenty of value to gain.
Turns out everyone's probably just going to fold, but that's okay.
Bet 210.
Pot does have $230 in it. You can buy things with that money.
210 is a pretty big bet here. at
Yep.
230.
Ken does really big sizing.
He does. The first hand of the whole session, he called a 3-bet, I believe, out of the small blind with
Oh,
10-9
yeah,
of
we were
clubs,
playing
flop top
poker,
pair, and
huh?
bet 600 into 400.
Yep,
that
and it was like a
strange.
4-way pot.
Yeah.
It was really dangerous. Will shows the gutter, throws it away, and yeah, Wheel.
Hey, call.
Was that Marty?
Ken showed
Yeah.
Call. Yeah, Marty, we know.
He had
Oh, okay.
We know.
I had two.
Misunderstood. Queens and fours there?
No, ace
Nice hand.
four. Ace.
So something that you could do to get into DJ Academy
Yeah.
next time when you apply in 2024 is I'm not going to say this is the
I didn't
determining
bet my
factor in
eight
why
high,
you
so
were
good.
rejected. But it just seemed like you were
Pretty sure.
kind of heartless.
So you did know it was me. See, you said it was
Yeah,
blind and you knew it
absolutely.
was me.
I mean,
Sure,
I could
play
tell
that
because of the
game.
robotic nature of your lyrics. Your,
Alright,
your
this
lyrics
hand I
need more
won,
heart,
like,
man.
Oh,
this is my
man.
biggest money making hand
That's a
I've
hard
ever
thing to
had.
hear.
You're rapping about algorithms all the
Friday
time.
night.
Stop
I mean,
55.
Rap about love.
I write what speaks to me, and I think if it speaks to me, it speaks to other people, and you hear the passion, no?
Well,
night at
not
the
according to
Win.
DJ Academy.
These homies are 30, 40, these young buck 30, 40
Anyways,
K, and
Stuart's got
Pythagoras.
smashed.
Pythagoras was a mathematician. I mean, I thought that was really good.
25,
Talk about how you love
30,
him,
You know, they
maybe.
got these
That would
yellow
help.
chips for 10K. And
Oh,
it's like,
that's a
I'm
set for
like,
Stuart.
Yep, and
Action
a
Aaron
they
pair
look
and a
at me, they're
gutter
like,
for action Aaron. Kind of fun.
Marty
not,
with
not
nothing.
super fun, really, but
And
a
then I
little
got
fun. I mean, a 6 would be a terrible card for action Aaron. That's
It
the
would
only
be
card
a
that would
disaster.
really, really be a disaster. Everything else shouldn't be too scary. Stuart's going to have to bet this one. And I fully expect him to get called by at least in one place, but you never know with Marty.
Marty might call too. Who knows?
No, Marty is tightening up.
Marty's tight now.
not playing with
Action Aaron really does have to call this.
He does. He does have 4 outs as we
A
see.
9 would be good. There it is.
That's an easy way to do it.
There's a 9.
That is a card Stuart did not want to see. That's the good news for Stuart. He knows that it's a bad card.
Now, to bet or to check, Aaron's going to check, but usually Stuart's going to check this back.
I don't think there's a ton of value in betting as Stuart.
You have to be up against someone who is very, very, as Phil Hellmuth would write in his book, Play Poker Like the Pros, elephant-like, meaning they're hard to move. Hey, look, another card comes off. It's a queen. Time to start betting, Action Aaron.
Why are you acting all upset?
I
Because
don't know.
his massage stopped, so he's
Yeah,
not relaxing anymore.
he's just regular action. Stuart's thinking about it. I don't know why he wouldn't have already called, honestly.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good hand.
Action Aaron could be betting like top 2 for value, very reasonably.
It's possible.
I would bet top 2 for value.
We having fun yet? Feel a degree on moment coming up pretty
He's just trying to go through his head. What 8s does Aaron have in his range?
I mean, 10-8, 7-8,
6-8,
a little bit of 6-8.
Jack 8.
Sure. Jack 8, 9-8.
Yep. It's a lot of combos.
Okay. But there are other things he's going to bet here, too. He can show up with weird bluffs, probably. Although, what calls on the flop? Maybe 4-5?
Yeah, that would be about it.
Yeah.
It's possible this is a fold, but looks like
It's
Stuart's making the
completely
call.
reasonable to call. If you just use distribution, it's going to demand a call.
If you just use distribution, I agree with you.
Yeah. I'm not saying you should only use that, but that's a reasonable way to make a decision in this spot.
Just over 14K in the pot. The turn is the 4 of diamonds.
Hey, what is that? Speaking of turn, coming around the mountain, Isn't that the Nitrogen Sports Poker Train?
I think they did buy a train recently.
If you listen, you can hear its very familiar jingle. And choo-choo. Wait, there's the jingle. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
Wow, that's the weirdest ad ever all of a sudden. Anyway, Nitrogen Sports Poker Room is, they let us do ads like this.
They
perhaps
do.
because they don't listen to them.
Free reign, baby. Nitro, nitro, nitro. Nitro, nitro, nitro.
Am I the big blind?
And we're back.
Feels good. I want to just tell everyone, even though it's a number of years off, I've already putting the finishing touches on my application to DJ Academy.
So I have some advice for you because I do want you to.
I mean, I've already finished, but
you still edit it. You don't have to submit it until.
Go ahead.
Pretty sure all.
So, the topical nature of the songs is important. So
Sure.
if by 2024 there's some big world events that you could include in your songs, you might want to change it to include.
I don't need. No, I'm on top of that. I've already sort of thought ahead and figured out what topical things are going to be in play and work them into the lyrics. I'm all over that. Brexit, more like no exit, stuff like that,
That's not for 2024.
No, you're going to see that it is.
Oh, it's going to keep going on. Anyway, Marty has called with Jack 4.
You're going to be amazed. It's going to be like, you're going to call me Nostradamus, which is a cool name.
I had clubs, sir. I had clubs.
What would be really good is if you could put something accurate for 2024 and remember in 2023 when Jonathan Levy got eaten by a polar bear.
Right, but I can make that happen. That's not really good if it's about me. It has to be about something else.
What I'm saying is that's going to happen.
But that's if I have full control over that. It has to be about like something I don't have control over, like something you do to yourself. Remember when Grant hit himself in the face? Something like that.
Yeah, that's good. That might get you in. That might get you in.
That has to get me in.
That's a good start. You should rework that.
You guys are going to be like, wow, the contemporary nature and relevance of this guy's lyrics combined with the passion for math and algorithms really makes me want him as student here in 2024. What am I going to do for the next 5 years is the real question. I got
hibernate. All right, Marty's got ace king and he's just gonna call. I think with Marty's reputation, it would be good to raise to try to get it in with ace king.
Exactly. Marty is one of the guys who could 100% raise here.
Band teacher just calling with 9s in the small blind as well. I think that might have been a 3-bet spot for band teacher.
Agreed. I guess he just decided to set mine though, which is not the end of the world.
And
Marty flops it.
Nobody else has much of anything.
It's weird that somehow everyone missed.
But that's it.
Joseph has a gutter, but Storp blocks it. There's just not a whole lot going on.
I imagine Marty's betting right now. I just don't know how much. 115?
I don't even know if band teacher can call with this many players in.
Yeah, he's got too many players behind. If he was last to act,
I would call if I was last to act for sure. But this feels like a pretty straightforward fold. And Marty's just going to take it down probably, unless Stewart gets super sticky.
That's a bit disappointing for Marty. When you're Marty and you flop that well with that hand and it's a multi-way pot, you should usually get paid, Yeah.
Marty, by the way, does decide to show a hand when he isn't required to, even though he claimed he wasn't going to. That's part of my lyrics, I always know what's going to happen in the future. That's going to be my name, Future Man, because I always call it the future. Oh, call it the future.
Don't be Future Man. That sounds like a superhero. Not
call
a
out the future. How about that?
It's got to be DJ Future Man.
Oh, that's better. Yeah. I can see why this place is going to be really helpful to me. I'm going to really, get some good tips and tricks. For my DJing.
We count at 10. How many blackbirds?
DJs are the true musical heroes. Like,
they press the button.
I mean, people act like, oh yeah, Taylor Swift. And people who write the songs and perform the songs.
Yeah.
But it's a whole different thing to pick which song goes in the songs in what order they go in.
You have to bring a laptop.
You
have to act like you're dancing.
When do you drop the beat? I mean, that's a big deal, and it's worth millions of dollars.
I can't answer that because that's a 300 level class in DJ Academy.
Yeah.
When do you drop the beat?
I can see why there would be an academy and a university just for DJing at this point, because it's they're the real princes and princesses of music these days.
Yes, of course. Meanwhile, nobody has flopped anything at all. Action Aaron somehow has the best hand with 2 3s. And Marty's probably going to win the hand by betting.
Marty already checked. Marty's just muttering to himself.
There's a Stewart now takes the lead.
And it's an open ender for Bill.
Marty bets $10.
I don't know why.
Because he doesn't want that $10.
It's just he bets
Oh,
$110.
110. Okay, that's more reasonable. It could actually work.
Really different, and it's probably going to work. Actually,
Yeah. Well, Stewart might hold on. It's possible that Stewart holds on.
I'd be
Marty.
surprised if Stewart holds on, but let's see.
I can't let
Stewart
you
with
come
a
on for 10.
the reputation in the show for
110
Stewart
off
is that he is
respect.
tight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's respect.
And there we go. Live up to that rep, Stewart. That's right. It ain't just something we say about you.
And Marty shows the
Gutter
9-4. Feels good, huh, Stewart?
Go
Feels
lay
good.
down.
He was probably getting
Stewart,
there.
who always thanks me every
Yeah,
time he
10's
sees me
coming.
because we talk about how tight he is on the show.
10 come,
But
baby.
guess what?
We already
We're
know.
just calling it like we see it, brother.
He's just trying to be nice to you because he wants you to keep playing in games with him.
Well, it works.
I couldn't check
It's working great.
Yeah.
You don't want to give a free card.
Yeah, I can't check it. I want to have the nuts.
He's going to show you next
I showed him once.
time. One time.
I remember one hand where I beat him.
Yeah.
Great.
Some people play for stories.
It's a big pot.
That'd be you. Playing for the story. Marty with the 8-3. I'm not surprised to see him call.
That's what I thought. I was
Aaron's
going
going to isolate with the 5s. That's a good idea.
Everyone gets out of the way.
Marty, of course, is going to
I
call.
think Marty's going to win this hand. I don't know. I feel like this is a Marty win.
Those towers are getting pretty big. I'm waiting for him to fall over. And yes, Marty is going to win this hand most of the time. I agree with you now.
Marty, not the type who likes to fold. In fact, likes to donk.
It's a strange donk with an 8. I
Why?
don't really know why you would do that, but it looks like it's working out
Wait,
pretty
wait,
well.
whoa. Did Action just raise?
He did.
Whoa.
If Marty doesn't fold, this is going to be the most value anybody could ever get with 8-3.
Well, Marty doesn't fold on the flop, but he sometimes folds later in the hand after someone shows strength. So let's see what happens.
Aaron often shuts it down in spots like this when
Ah.
it doesn't work once. I've seen it before.
Fair enough. Let's see. Marty checks. Yeah, there you go. Aaron checks it right back. No one likes the queen. Marty's trying to decide if he should bluff this.
Check. Check, check.
And Aaron immediately checks. Yeah, you were right. Aaron was trying to just get to a cheaper showdown. Marty shows the 3 first.
Smooth.
Oh shit!
I know.
It's hard to flop a pair.
Bad Teacher is Marty's biggest fan.
Man, did you love that?
How hard is it to flop a pair?
I haven't been able to do it.
I played this game before. It's hard to flop it.
We'll never know if pulling the trigger would have worked for Aaron. I think it would have, but we'll never know.
It's hard to know against Marty.
On my
Yeah.
side.
But Marty wins.
Did you see that little sort of
Yeah.
weird dance
Yeah.
that Marty was doing?
Yeah, I'm
I liked
collecting
it.
them, homie.
Me too.
Oh, those towers are getting precarious.
Man,
They really
you got
are.
a lot of them.
I have a few.
You got a lot of them.
I have a few.
Some
Oh,
serious
man.
gravity action
So
going on.
it's like a leaning Tower of Pisa situation, a
Oh,
Jenga
whatever,
situation.
I'm calling
Oh, Marty's
it.
fixing it.
I got
Well,
these blackberries.
I mean, I don't know if going that high is going to be fixable. At some point, it's just going to
Straight
topple, right?
cash.
see, that is the DJ instructor in you instead of the mathematician in you.
That's
Where's the
true.
mathematician?
The mathematician says the physics support
anybody
Marty's
call?
theory that he can go
Exactly.
forever.
Infinitely. To the moon!
And this is a great flop for Marty. This
Yeah.
is how Marty makes all his money. in
Well,
poker
Action
is
Aaron with an
when
ace, so here we go. And Wheel is going
Wheel's
to
going
bet
to lead with 4
his
deuce.
absolute nothing. God, this may save Action Aaron a lot of money. Ken is going to not fold with the gutter. Here comes
Marty's going to raise.
Gonna
and
have to
Aaron's
raise it
gonna
up.
Fold, right?
Aaron's just going to throw it away.
40, 70, raise.
Marty just
No,
takes
that
it.
ain't
He doesn't even
A
know
group
how
of-
much. He has no idea how much.
It's a
it
group
is.
of chips.
He doesn't care how much it
I
is.
might
He's just
have the
tossing it in
best
there.
hand.
And Aaron just gets away from it, and I got to believe that's the end of the hand now.
Yeah, that really hurts
just
Marty
squeezing.
right there. That Wheel
I wanna
decided to
show you
lead.
guys.
Marty didn't have to raise it this much. If he raised it a more normal amount, it's possible Aaron would
I'm
call.
gonna show you the
Marty shows a 6. He showed the 6 for some reason.
That's, as it turns out, ahead of everybody all by
That
itself.
Give me a 6 though, so it's fine.
Although if he had
Queen
just a 6,
6, baby.
Ken could call. You know,
Yeah,
overs and a gut shot.
Yeah,
that's true.
He doesn't need to see the other one.
It's unlikely it's just a 6 when he shows a 6, though,
That is
right?
correct.
It's worth 25 more.
Hard to
Yeah,
flop a
if
pair.
Wheel doesn't decide to randomly lead there, Marty might win a really big pot against Aaron.
I assume it's going to go bet call, bet call, bet call, mostly.
Yeah,
I don't know how Aaron can ever really fold.
I'm only down 8,000.
Bill's got ace king
That's not hard to do.
and a reputation for opening quite wide at this point.
The sharks.
And he will open quite wide.
Raise.
I mean, he will, but not this time.
Man,
Well, I
last
mean,
hand I looked,
it's
I was like,
wide
I
is
don't know
wide,
what I have.
bro.
I looked down at
It's
some
range, it's not
six.
singular
Ooh,
hand.
that's
He's
too
opening
fair.
wide, he's opening wide.
It's really useful.
Bad. I'm like,
You're really useful when you help people with their DJ.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're all really
Sure,
appreciative.
just
That's good.
I have the worst hand. It's just they make me be the sheriff. These guys don't make me be the sheriff.
The sheriff takes the lead.
Yep, Sheriff Marty.
Still a reasonable flop for Bill, and it goes check.
Would
check.
you feel safe if Marty was the sheriff in your
Is
town?
that a 7 of hearts?
I would worry for everybody. The criminals,
If you have
the innocent.
It's,
It's 150.
Mommy. What you mean?
Bill probably probably's gonna have to call this.
He does have a gut shot.
He's got overs in the gutter.
It's Marty.
It's Marty. It's not great, but you're gonna improve enough of the
Oh my
time. You can
God.
probably call. By the way,
I thought
Marty
he was
bet
full, now I'm
150 into
confused.
a very small pot. He bet almost twice the pot.
I don't even know.
There's
Another
a big
10.
miss. Marty should
I'm
be
thinking
checking
300.
this when the diamond comes, but Marty's not gonna.
He's just
check.
putting out 300 there, and Bill's gonna let it go.
I guess if Bill had jets,
Nah,
that would be one thing. Marty shows an 8, but only shows the 8, which means he's got something good.
Usually.
Right. He always shows them both when
Yeah,
he
that's true.
when he wants to show them both.
He showed 9 in, 4 to Stewart when he bluffed Stewart.
Yeah, so that should be a good sign for Bill when he shows only one card. I would assume it was 10-8.
Nah,
would
it's
be
a
wrong.
pair.
So you should workshop some DJ names because
Yeah. Okay.
like
I mean, we already have DJ Future Man, but
that's not that good. Like obviously the best DJ name of all time is DJ Jazzy Jeff. So,
Yeah.
so work with that and try to come up with something that has similar.
Okay.
It sparks
I
joy in
got
a
it.
similar way.
I got this one. This is
Okay.
pretty good, and this is
Yeah,
inspired by
baby.
DJ Jazzy Jeff. What about DJ Jazzy Jonathan?
It's a little bit too derivative. I'm sorry. We
How is
care
that
about-
derivative? His name is Jeff. What are
if
you
you,
talking
if you don't
about?
know if you don't know that, you're not getting into the academy.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
All right, I know that. I'm just
Marty with an unknown hand here, by the way. Wheel, ace-8 of spades.
Marty
The
ahead
dead
of his
man's
range
hand.
right now.
I don't even know what that is. Like, no, I'm gonna check. How's that? That's pretty cheap.
Wheel
Marty
could go
checks.
either way here. You could check and bluff catch.
I think it's fine to bet though too,
Yeah.
especially on this board where you kind of have nothing going on.
Bet 50. Ready?
50 into 80.
Please, real quick.
Marty does fold sometimes when he has absolutely nothing. Let's see if he folds this time when he has
He has
absolutely
king
nothing.
7.
50.
That counts as nothing. Whoa.
I'd like another couple cards, please.
Looks like Marty's gonna.
So Marty's got
Let
a
it go.
thing on his left ear.
It's a headphone.
Yeah. It's like a little Bluetooth.
We do have a rule
Deal.
on Poker Time that you're not supposed to use headphones, but the rules don't apply to Marty apparently.
I mean, what is going on? The inmates are running the asylum. How about DJ Inmate? Is that good?
It's actually not bad.
Really?
If you added like an adverb.
All right, DJ Whack Inmate. Is that good?
Actually, that's amazing. your chances are going way up. DJ Whack Inmate. That's good.
Thanks, man. And I'm gonna, call this all this stuff that happens in the future.
No limping.
I'm gonna be like, and then Reagan came back to life and was president again. I mean, if that happens, you have to let me in.
I don't like your chances on that one.
Marty with a big hand for Marty. Everyone's just limped. It's raise time.
And he does
And he
raise.
raised to 125.
Erasing.
I mean, Ken can't really fold king
No,
queen.
Ken cannot fold. Joseph's gonna call with a 9-7.
Yeah,
Action Aaron might call with king 10.
it's not crazy, but it is kind of a porker of a hand.
A porker.
Power of the felt, boys.
Okay.
Wheel cannot call with ace 3.
No,
also. This
come on.
is- although it turns out he is the second best hand right now, but it's just not good enough. Ken really has to call, I think.
Yeah, king queen a little bit too good.
Marty's just been way too spewy,
Out of line.
yeah, to not put the chips in here.
I like it. Anybody
Marty
call?
with almost half the equity between these three hands, and
And
that
it's-
is an incredible flop
Wow.
for Joseph.
Wow.
Check. Check.
Marty's gonna continue. It's not crazy.
No, that's
He could check this, but it's pretty reasonable to continue, I think, with all the overcards and
he
back
has
cards
great
that go.
blockers against Joseph's hand, by the way.
Yeah, the
if
10
they,
of diamonds.
If they do end up getting more money in,
I expect Joseph is often gonna raise.
yeah, seems right.
He does. He goes all in.
Whoa, that is
Holy
a large.
moly! It's such a big raise.
That's so fucking sick. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh,
Marty calls it all.
Marty
It's an
is
overcard.
Marty is in great shape.
He's 59%. Wow! Look at Joseph's face.
2 clubs, baby.
Holy
Come on, Gavin.
moly!
3, 4
This is
clubs,
a big
one
deal.
time.
That
Wanna use my
escalated
one
quickly,
time.
Grant.
This is
I want to
crazy.
use my one time.
Marty's in a great
please.
spot here.
Let's see if he can
Microphone
fade the
check for
turn.
clubs.
Well,
Well,
that's more outs
uh-oh.
for Joseph.
More clubs.
But a 9 now doesn't help
Deuce,
Joseph
deuce,
either.
deuce, deuce, deuce.
Oh,
Oh, the
the
diamond
diamond comes, and that's gonna devastate Marty.
Ah,
Wow.
And Joseph's just gonna warily, calmly put out the chips.
Joseph. Marty bet 175 and Joseph went all in for $2,100.
Yep.
That seems like a lot.
It does
to me.
seem like a lot.
Joe, we've seen Joseph do that before, though, where he bet some outrageous
It
amount.
was the Queen Nine of Hearts against Stewart when he flopped. He
That's
had
right.
3-bet Queen Nine of Hearts pre-flop, flopped top pair with a flush draw. Stewart had slow played kings, raised the flop, and Joseph just did he
No.
Joseph just move in on the
He
flop?
just open moved in on the flop.
Oh, for like a ton, yeah.
He moved. It was like $700 in the pot, and he moved in for like 2,300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like Joseph has a pattern of like combo draw, pair flush draw, where he
Just throws all the money at it. Or he's like,
ton.
it can't be that bad if I'm called. He was
Yeah.
called in both cases. He won one, he lost one. There you go. He's even.
Yeah, your 10 of diamonds was dead.
I would have liked to see if Marty kept going with just 2 stacks if he had won that pot. Would it have been possible?
2.
Marty does get stacked here, looks like.
Yep.
That's rough. Marty
That is-
makes.
He makes the
I
call.
can't believe he made the call. I
was-
can't believe he was ahead by so much.
He even had the 10 of diamonds.
He had kind of the perfect hand. I guess an even better hand would have been
You flopped it.
like the queen or
higher
not-
flush draw.
Yeah, the queen, the 10x of diamonds.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah, but still, he had a great hand to have there.
Well, it's not a tournament. I mean, it's a shootout.
Wow.
I think even those big 40Ks, they do.
Joseph feeling good.
Why not? The guy wants to put 300-400.
Stacking towers and towers of chips.
What do you think everyone else is thinking about Joseph's play? Like, what's band teacher thinking about it right now?
He's thinking that was a pretty big shove.
Joseph runs like a new pro.
You guys should have seen me when I was in 7th grade. I was the 8th grade cross country.
Action Aaron with a nice hand under the gun. Gonna just limp it.
Yeah, all these coaches come up,
Now that Marty has been
all these coaches come up and
taken away from the table for a while to reload, people can play a little bit more comfortably without worrying about
Actually runs.
every hand getting raised a lot pre-flop.
Yeah.
I went totally over my head. Wow. He runs so good.
Bill does raise the ace jack.
oh, they all went to my
Band teacher
mom
gonna
and said they
call the
wanted to
jack
go to high
5
school.
suited in the
He's
big
only
blind.
went to 8th grade.
Don't know about that. Gut shot front for Aaron.
Yep.
Beat you to it.
Bill with top pair. Beat you to it.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Okay, sure.
I didn't know that he had top pair.
But we don't have that much longer.
So there.
Bet 100.
This is probably the end of it.
Bill bets 2/3 of the pot this time.
Shows
I wonder if there's a little bet sizing tell
How
here
much
for
are you
Bill.
sweating there on the river there?
I don't know. It's dangerous to make those assumptions without a lot of data.
Yeah.
It's gonna come or it's not. That's
true.
The seven gave you extra out.
I saw that too, but it takes away the 9. This is another 7.
Those are the kind of board you didn't have to size up either.
True.
Ace 8-4.
5.
Yeah.
I think it was rainbow.
Pretty dry.
Yeah.
600.
Yeah, you didn't
But
have
anyway.
nine to begin with.
36.
Had 9 6.
I mean, you can't. It doesn't
DJ
take away the 9.
Well, no, I mean if
Good.
a 9 comes, I can go 9-9.
Is it wacky inmate even better?
No.
Wacky inmate in the house talking about being stuck in prison again. Something like that. Is that good?
No, whack and made is better. I'm gonna tell you
Whack?
from experience.
Okay, well, I like wacky and I may go with it anyway. I'm sure you'll let me in.
Kings.
You're not the only one who decides, right?
These
There's
are the
whole, I
type-
assume there's a panel.
There's a panel, but I have final say, and these are the type of assumptions that might have gotten you rejected last time. You know, you get all
I
cocky.
reject that
You get all cocky.
notion.
This is you're gonna be a problem student. You're just gonna be like, no, the teachers are wrong.
I won't be like that. I'm just saying in this case, you're wrong. Are you one of the teachers?
Yes. Ken
What?
just wins with 3s. Joseph folds 6s there. That
Yeah.
was a little bit odd.
It was a little bit odd. We were busy making jokes about DJ Academy
Yeah.
once again.
Can't help it. But Joseph, I guess, is feeling pretty good. Feels like, I don't need to put money in. I just want a ton of money. But that's not a reason to fold 6s there.
But I think that does happen for
Yeah.
sure. You're like, why play a pot when it's
Yeah.
like not that's marginal when I have just won a $4,000 pot or
$5,000.
5K pot, yeah, whatever it is.
And Marty's back. It's tough to recover from something like that. It wasn't a particularly bad beat. I mean, he did only have
No.
60% of the equity.
Yeah,
But
59. That said,
he got to make the call and be right.
yeah.
Call.
And Marty's going to put in the raise. Not surprising. He also does
mean,
have deuces.
It's a little surprising.
I mean, it's not, considering that Marty just
Look
sat
at
down.
the
and-
sizing.
It's Marty.
It's so much.
What do you expect, you know?
So much.
It's possible that he's just lucky to have a pair. It could be any hand this was going to happen as he sat down.
By the way, we haven't mentioned this yet, but our dealer
310.
is someone who's been on TV.
Yeah, Devin Sweet. She actually dealt the final hand of the 2018 World Series of Poker main event. So
Yep.
she's a legit dealer.
She was there when Tony Miles tried to bluff John Sin. Johnson had tripped jacks and took 5 minutes to call with the second best kicker in the world.
Yep.
But that's fine.
And
Johnson, take
Marty
your time.
gets to win, by the way.
Yep. We're just had marginal hands, and you know,
And Marty's gonna go back to stacking those towers.
no, he's changing it up.
Maybe
Trying to change his luck.
Maybe it was unlucky. Yeah, the tower method was unlucky.
Yeah, if he had just gone the other way, probably that diamond doesn't come on the river.
It's possible.
Oh,
You can't know for sure. Marty could have anything here. 7-5 off. At least they're relatively connected. Ken did not call, despite what the graphic says.
Hey,
Band teacher with aces. Didn't work out for him last time.
No, it didn't. Marty got him with a straight on the turn last time. Marty had flop double gutted. See, Bill and Marty have the same hand. It says Ken's in there, but Ken is not in there.
Yeah, it's a lie. Marty has called, and Bill has also called.
Unluckily for band teacher, Marty just doesn't re-raise right now. But Marty usually has something when he re-raises, and he does flop a gutter once again.
As does Bill, of course.
Pretty safe-looking board overall, though, for band teacher.
Yeah, he should bet and hope that Marty raises. That's what he should do.
Bet 150.
Marty, of course, not folding his gutter. We know he's not going to do something like that. He gets Bill out, so now he gets all of the gutter equity.
That's pretty nice.
Yep, he went from 9% to 18. That's
That
not a
is
good card for band teacher.
Not a good card for anybody.
Is Marty going to lead this card?
It's actually kind of a good card to
Oh,
lead.
it's a great job by Marty. Band teacher's not going to fold aces here, but this is a pretty great card to lead.
I don't think band teacher...
Look at this. I mean, look at this. It's 125 into
You can't
a
fold to
huge
Marty
pot.
no matter what the size is here.
But certainly, and that card doesn't matter, of course. Let's see if Marty bets again. Marty, you got to bet big if you're going to bet. You can't bet tiny.
He's getting called no matter what, I'm pretty
agree.
sure.
175.
Yeah, again, 175 is look at the size of the
Band
pot.
teacher might raise. And he
is gonna
does.
raise. I don't love this.
I don't
raise.
either.
What are you supposed to? You're praying Marty river to queen.
Or has a 4 that decides to call.
That's gonna call. I don't think a 4 is gonna call anyway. I don't know if a queen is gonna call. I think it's just a call, but I think he just read the sizing as
Yeah.
Marty's not strong enough. And you're gonna try and get value.
I guess so.
But it seems to me it's like one of those bear traps, you know, where you put your hand in because you see the food and then it clamps down on you and it really hurts and it cuts in your skin and you can't get out. It's one of those.
like that.
It's just bad news.
Yeah.
I would write a rap about it.
How
but,
many times have you been caught in one of those?
I mean,
What was the last food you were reaching for, I guess is a better question, when it snapped on you?
it was a pomegranate.
Oh, pomegranate?
Yeah, those things are amazing.
I
I was
would-
just
I
like,
would-
look at that pomegranate. I have to have it. And
I
then,
would go for some Flamin' Hot Cheetos if I saw some of those.
do they have pomegranate flavored?
No.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
No, they do not.
Dude, I'm working on a rap right now, and you're answering my question as if I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Good Lord, did you not hear the rhythm and meter in
I
my
did
voice?
not- I did not.
Do they have pomegranate flavored Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
Anyway,
I'm going to go eat some burritos. See, I got this whole thing
I've
working.
been told by whichever elderly intern
Yeah.
we have now that this is our last hand. Marty with the queen 9 off.
Okay.
Stuart has called the button because it's Marty.
That's fair.
He flops a 7, but Marty flops a 9.
Well, Stuart's going to lose at least a little bit of money on this pot, I would expect, because
He's-
Marty is one to bet at any point when he has anything.
And Stuart absolutely must call if he's playing. He's never calling this hand on the button against anybody else at the
Right.
table.
He certainly isn't calling this hand to fold a pair on the flop to Marty's bet. We know that. That's a bad card for Stuart in
Yep.
that it does not. The same hands that were beating him before continue to be beating him only. Nothing improves. I mean, obviously a jack improves, but I don't think Stuart should fold to a $75 bet here. Marty could be betting pocket fours.
Marty could be betting nothing at all.
Marty can have queen 10, pocket fours, clubs, an 8, a 10.
Deuce 4 offsuit.
Just 3 chips.
He often will shut down with the absolute nothings, but not always, as we know. Stuart's so tight, but this time we all think he has to call, and he agrees. Well, he's way behind and continues to
Clubs
be behind.
do come
That's
in.
good for him that a club comes. Let's see if Marty bets again. Marty seems to bet in these spots.
He is going for super thin
Oh,
value,
wow,
betting
super
75 again. I don't think you can fold to Stuart for 75.
You got
it's
the
100.
You have the
100.
king of clubs in your hand. Could you turn this into a bluff?
A little sweeter.
I wouldn't recommend it with Marty just 330 behind. Marty
Yeah,
might
that is the
decide he's
thing.
just calling with everything better no matter what.
Yeah. I don't know if he's really calling with queen 9, but we saw him call with those 10s pretty quickly. I guess Stuart probably just has to call, especially if the king of clubs in his hand makes it easier to call, right?
Yeah.
The king is a
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, that's a different story.
Getting 5.5 to 1 here. And it
And
does
Stewart
call.
just
That's fine.
Flicks the chip in, and he's going to lose the last hand. Marty's going to win it. We're going to see if Marty can build those stacks back up on the next episode, the last episode of this session of Poker Time next week.
See you then.
I am on Team Marty.